Call Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. What I said in the ancient Hebrew was all praise and glories unto the Most High God, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai. All right, and this should be a quick lesson, man. Pretty straight to the point. I just have to highlight this because it's rare you find a so-called or a church pastor that is about the actual word of the Bible. You look at these the Joel Osteens, the T.D. Jakes, and so on and so forth, and it's rare that you find a strong biblical message out of those guys. But this mayor down in Texas brought this out, man. Okay, and it says Texas mayor. This is from DailyMail.com. It says Texas mayor says women can't lead prayer at council meetings, and that they should keep silence in churches because it's commanded by the Bible. And he is exactly right. That is what the scriptures say. This is a guy right here. I'm going to go into that, but I want to read what it says because people are going to try to demonize this guy. All right? Which, Edomite or not, man, he stood up for the word, man. I can't be mad at him, you know? And a lot of times it's an unpopular message among the people, women, women, and even men. But if you call yourself a lover of the Most High God, then it's in the scriptures. Hey, do you conform to that or not? A lot of people are used to lollygagging in their churches, and they don't have to follow actually what the word says. They read some obscure passage. They pressure you by guilt shaming you into filling up the collection plate, and then they sing happy songs about and about love and whatever else, man, love and prosperity. That's not actually what the Bible only contains, and this is one of the topics that it contains. So popular or unpopular, we're gonna get right into it. I'll go back to those pictures because it says some other things in there. It says Wiley, which this guy's come on, like for real. It said the mayor of a small Dallas suburb told a fellow city council member in an email that women shouldn't be allowed to lead prayer at public meetings because it goes against the Bible. And Texas is part of the Bible Belt, where they take their religion down there very seriously. And I've lived in the South, and I've been in the South in different states and cities, and down in that Bible Belt, man, they don't play with that. A lot of the towns down there are dry because they own for Sundays at least, because they don't want you. They're making a lot out of that day, but they're at least trying to keep things under control. But a lot of misconceptions about the Bible, and this is one of them, because you see all kinds of women pastors going around writing books and leading sermons and so on and so forth, man, completely contradictory to those to the words of the Holy Scriptures. Okay, and he posted a couple of them. I'm gonna get them. Anyway, it says Wiley, Texas. Okay, Wiley Mayor Eric Hogue, I'm calling him, sent email to city council member about public prayer. Hogue said women shouldn't be allowed to lead prayer at public meetings. The mayor quoted 2 New Testament scriptures in email to Jeff Forrester. All I ask is that those leading public prayer be young men, Hogue wrote in an email. Okay, and he is not wrong for that. Now let me go into these pictures right quick. That's the guy there. A close up. It said Wiley thinks women are not to have a role in leading public prayer meetings because it is forbidden by Scripture. And I'm going to show you that also, as he pointed out here. Hogue quoted 2 New Testament scriptures in the email sent to Jeff Forrester, in which he suggested that the council instead select young men to give the invocation at the next meeting on May 26th. I'm going to read that message shortly. Hogue is mayor of Wiley, a suburb. Okay. About 52,000. Okay, and that's something else. Nothing. But here, it's exactly pretty good. Here's what he actually said in the email itself. Let's see if I can bring it into focus. Leading public prayer. It says, sounds good talking about having public prayer, because during this quarantine and pandemic of all the cities and the states shut down for the most part anyway, churches are shut down, okay? Which is ironic, but churches are shut down. It says, hey, Jeff, talking to Jeff Forrester, it says, sounds good. I would like that. All I ask is that those leading public prayer be young men. Here's why I make that request as a preacher for the Cottonwood Church of Christ, is what, So we take these two verses below literally, in which I'll have these, but I'll read them here. It says, 1 Corinthians 14, 34 and 35. Another one was 33, was for the Most High God, Yahweh, is not the author of confusion. Okay, which, to be clear about that, give me a moment and I'll get another scripture, which I had anyway. It says, let your women, this is, matter of fact, I'll just go to it here. 1 Corinthians 14, I'm going to go to 33. All right, it says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. And it would be, I'm going to go to here right quick, and it is confusing to have a woman leading prayer because she's not the head of the household, okay? And I'm going to get the scriptures that show it, that this guy is telling the truth. Here's 1 Corinthians chapter 11. It says, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yahushua. This is talking about, Paul wrote this. It says, now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the order or ordinances, as it says, as I deliver them to you. Okay, so he's delivering an order right here, an ordinance. Okay, but I would have you know that the head of every man is the anointed, Yahushua, who you call Jesus Christ. It says, and the head of the woman is the man. And the head of the anointed Savior, Yahushua, is the Most High God, Yahweh. Okay, so it's the Most High God, Yahushua, and then men, and then women under that. Okay, said that's kind of about, so that's the order. Okay, and then they go on to make a difference about what they how they should pray and worship differently between men and women. Okay, so let me go back to the 14th chapter. It says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion. He put a clear order set up on the order of leadership, which is the Most High God, Yahweh, the Lord Yahushua, and then man, and then woman. Okay, it says right here, and I could have read more in that 11th chapter, but I don't want to make this too long. It says, 34, this is what one of the scriptures he quoted right here on the left. It says, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And where in the law does it say that? I'll go to it real quick. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and the 16th, I believe it is. Yep. Genesis 3:16, unto the woman he said, I greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, birth pains and all of that tough time when you have children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Okay? But what do we have today, though? I'm going to come back to those. But what do we have today? We have Jeremiah, of what you see today. 31 and 22, I believe it is. Yep. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. A woman shall be in higher stature and regard than men. And this is a prophecy that's being fulfilled as we speak. It's been fulfilled for recent time over the past, since women's lived pretty much up till now. Okay, and still going forward, where women are in a higher societal stature than men. All right, and that's a new thing in the earth. That wasn't the way that it was always set up to be. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 14th chapter. I'm still on 34. All right, it says, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience to their husbands, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. Okay, there's no time to go back and forth. He gets the interpretation. He delivers it to his wife as he sees fit. That's his property. It's his woman. He can teach. Just like children, you can teach your children to be whatever you want them to be. Okay, you can raise them because they're yours. You can raise them that way. Similar thing with your wife. You teach your wife what you want her to know. Okay, that's the role. They can go. They can talk about it. I've seen this happen. It's rare that you see an Israelite man. I was gonna say Jake, but an Israelite man leading and guiding Israelite women, because for some reason in our culture they want to be up higher in stature than men. They want that blessing, or they want that curiosity answered. What the serpent had told Eve, that they pretty much agreed upon. Okay, it says, if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in church. Okay, it's a shame for women to speak in church. Okay, let me go to 2 Timothy's. No, 1 Timothy's chapter 2, start up at 9. It says, this is what you see about women in church, right? It says, in like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety. Okay, level-headed and ashamed. Not all neck all stretched forth, and like it describes in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Okay. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, just to drive a point home. Then I'll go right back. 3, and I think it's around 12 is the one I want. Yep. As for my people, children are their oppressors, a more insignificant race of people. Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. That's something that's commonplace in the Israelite households. Okay, even if mama don't rule over daddy, who rules over daddy? Grandmama. Okay, it's always a woman that ends up at the head of our household, that ends up with the final say, that runs the house, and that's off, man. That's not a proper balance. Okay, the Most High said he likes to adjust balance and weight. I believe that's in Proverbs the 11th chapter. All right. Anyway, it says, women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the ways of thy paths. Why is that set up there? Because he did not. I'm gonna go to Job. Then I'll go back to Timothy. Job 39, 17. Yep. Verse 17, it says, because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted her understanding. Okay? He didn't give her the lead the household rules. That's why in the Willie Lynch letters, if anybody knows what that's about, he prescribed that he would take the men out of the household, and that's what you see in modern Western governments now, particularly here in America. The women can't get all those benefits, whether Section 8, EBT, and so on and so forth, those government benefits, if a man is in the house. Okay? He don't let that ride, okay? Let me see, back to it. No. Timothy is where I want. 1 Timothy 2 and 10. All right? And so that's just a curse that's put upon our people now, man, that our women rule over us. And there's a lot of tuck your tail simp men out there, man, that want their women ruling. And now it's a different. I don't mean you going there, hey, you old woman and get in there and fix my plate. And hey, man, grow up, okay? That barbaric mindset isn't how it goes. All you got to rule your house with is be firm. You know, she should understand. You know, talk things over. It's okay, man. It's okay to allow your wife to flourish in her role. In her role, though, and you remain in your role. Okay. Does mine make decisions? Yes, of course. I ask her opinion. I see what she thinks. Sometimes she has great ideas. Hey, if not, then I go with the idea that I had better. No problem, and it shouldn't be any hard feelings. But that's not what we see today all the time. Anyway, it says back in 1 Timothy chapter 2, because our people are out of order, man. Okay, that's why our whole nation is destroyed, because our people are out of order. All right, it says, and this is the other one he posted, 11 through 12, but I'm gonna read starting at 9, because it starts with the woman. Nah, I like to dress like this. It's them pushing their authority as women. And then what do they do if a man don't go along with what they want? Women will easily hold out when the scriptures tell you not to hold out on each other. Okay, in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. All right, yeah, I believe that's where that's at. Anyway, it says in like manner, verse 9, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. You're not supposed to be all jeweled up, gaining attention, man. Women, when you're out there, and most of the women pastors are up there to gain attention, not just for the sake of attention. They may be sincere about being on fire for the Lord. But did you miss these scriptures? So the guy is not off. Okay, the Texas mayor is not off. Said, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Just let your works speak for you. You go back to Proverbs the 31st chapter, and it tells you she how does it go? She worketh well with her hands. Okay, meaning she does things, man. She brings things forth. So it's not all about her sitting up and orating. Okay, which a lot of our women will sit up there and orate. Now I'm being very generous and nice saying orate, because a lot of them talk that shit. Okay, anyway, verse 11, it said, let the women learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And we referenced Genesis the 3rd chapter already, about when that commandment went that the men should rule over them. Her desire should be to thy husband, and women shall rule over thee. Okay? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to be usurp authority over the man. They which lead thee cause thee to err. When things are out of balance and it's confusion, and then now the man got to fight for his head of the household back. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But he has to be on his job and on his shit. When women should be trying to make sure he's in his role. Okay, strengthening him versus just trying to tear him down so she can get the control of the money. It doesn't matter who makes the money in this society now. Okay, make the money, and it's for the household. Okay, for some of you younger ones that's trying to figure out how to live your daily life with your woman and be in this truth. All right, it's you don't have to go out there and just tear her down all the time. But at some point, we all get torn down, and then your job is also to console her and keep her stable-minded. All right. Anyway, it says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Okay. Let me go to Jeremiah. Straight to the point. Nope, that's not it. 15. Yep. Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart. Those pastors are what? The leaders of the churches. Okay. He didn't say that women would be that in that role. That's not what he said. Okay. It said for women not to teach, but there is a lane for women to teach. They can teach the younger women how to guide the house and how to be good wives, okay, and things of that nature. Okay, so and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Okay, and that should trickle down through your household. Okay, that's how that should work, man. So this pastor guy was not off by putting this up there. Okay, if you want to see what happens when you allow women to guide you spiritually, and because women, you go into the word feminine, it means minus faith. Okay, when you break the words down, so the whole situation wasn't set up for them for that to be their role. They were given that role by our slave masters and our oppressors. Okay, why? Because they knew you weren't good at it, and when you fail, what happens? When women fail at their job of leading the household, what do they do? They have a backup number to call 911. They can call Esau and he'll balance everything back out and restore order and power back in your household. With the woman at the head and the man out of the house. When everything in society and in your bones and in your being as women is teaching you that you need a man in your life. But not just any old nigga man. I mean like a good man. Okay, one that fears the Lord. That's going to be honest and sincere about not only guiding the household, but guiding through the word of the Most High. All right? And so that's pretty much the lesson, man. This guy did not go off with this. I'm gonna read the end of his message, which was so have he quote the other scripture says, so I have always requested that a man lead the invocation. I understand not everyone may agree with me, but I can't go against my conscience. But I would love to have the group come and visit with them. I would love to have the group come and visit with them, and then let a couple of guys lead a prayer. And that was from him. Okay. Among other things. Now, one more script. I'm gonna get First Peter's. And so, Edomite, like I said, man, Edomite or not, this guy is trying to do the right thing by the word of the Most High. Okay, and even though this word don't have nothing to do with Edomites, he's handling this a lot better. At least he's handling it by the word versus hearsay and their own opinions, man. Barely opening the book. So it's not about me giving this guy credit, but standing on that he stood up for the word, man. And that's the same thing we do here. We go by this word, man. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this on down. Matter of fact, no. Verse 6 and 7. Yep, that's all I really want, which this is a beautiful chapter anyway in First Peter chapter 5, verse 6. It says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of the Most High. How do you do that? How do you know what that is? Through his word, okay? That he may exalt you in due time. Cast all your care upon him, for he careth for you. And that's talking about your elders. You know, the elders of the church. Okay, your pastors, so on and so forth. Those leaders. Okay, now, like I said, this guy's probably an Edomite or whatever's going on with him. That's not my concern. My concern is someone stood up for the word. And it's rare that you see a male pastor or a man even stand up and let people know that, hey, this is not for women to lead prayer. It's for men to lead prayer. And so he put the proper scriptures down. I backed them up with a few other scriptures. Lord willing, this was edifying unto you. Okay, humility is a beautiful thing, man. Okay, by men, by women, and in this society, man, women don't seem to have a lot of humility. Now, am I talking about the ones that do? No, I'm talking about in general. Okay, the sisters that are doing the right things, the wives that are doing the right things, man, call Allah, Yahweh Shema Shai, man, the Most High bless you and keep you in the proper spirit that you should be in. But for you that's not doing it, hey, the Most High ain't gonna play with you for much longer, man. He ain't gonna play. All right, get yourselves in order under your believing husbands, man. Okay, and if your husband don't believe, there's scriptures on that. Okay, in 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter. All right, that if you believe, hey, work with him, man. Keep work with him, and vice versa. Okay, this thing is bigger than just cutting people off because you want to go get with somebody else. That's the society stuff, man. Work it out, man. Okay? And the Lord will do his magic. Stay with your humble heart, man. The Lord will do his thing, okay? So anyway, with that, Lord, when this was edifying, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Arukakwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. To the next one, Shalom.